I never thought I'd be the kind of woman who goes through her husband's phone. But there I was at 3 a.m., hands shaking, staring at a text that said, "Dad, I can't wait to finally meet Mom at the party tomorrow. I'm so nervous." From a number saved under Mike, Gym Buddy. Let me back up. My name is Caroline, I'm 38 years old, and until 3 weeks ago, I thought I had the perfect marriage. James and I had been together for 15 years, married for 12. We met at a mutual friend's barbecue, and I fell for him hard. He was charming, successful, attentive, the kind of man who remembered your favorite flowers and actually called his mother every Sunday. We couldn't have kids of our own. We tried for years. Fertility treatments, specialists, tears, hope, more tears. Eventually, we made peace with it, or so I thought. James always said he was fine with it just being the two of us, that I was enough, that our life together was complete. The 10 years that followed were good, really good. We traveled, we built careers, we hosted dinner parties where our friends envied how in sync we were. James ran a successful consulting firm, I managed a boutique marketing agency. We had a beautiful home in the suburbs, 2 rescue dogs, and what I genuinely believed was an unshakable foundation of trust and honesty. He never gave me a reason to doubt him. He didn't have a wandering eye, he wasn't secretive with his phone, he came home when he said he would. Every anniversary, he'd plan something special. This year, for our 12th, he suggested throwing a big party. Invite all our friends, our families, celebrate properly. I thought it was sweet. Romantic, even. I should have known something was off when he insisted on handling the entire guest list himself. "You're so busy with the Henderson campaign," he'd said. "Let me take this one, babe. You just show up and look beautiful." I was touched. What a thoughtful husband, taking the pressure off me. What an absolute idiot I was. The week before the party, little things started nagging at me. He was distracted. He'd check his phone and smile this soft, secretive smile I'd never seen before. When I asked what was making him so happy, he'd say, "Just work stuff," or "just excited about Saturday." He made a weird comment about how life was about to get even better, and when I pressed him, he said he just meant he loved celebrating us. I ignored the whisper in my gut that said something wasn't right. I'd always trusted James completely. Why stop now? Then came that Friday night, the night before our anniversary party. James had fallen asleep on the couch watching the game. His phone buzzed on the coffee table. I wasn't trying to snoop, I swear. I was just going to put it on the charger. But the preview of the text lit up the screen, and I saw it. That message. "Dad, I can't wait to finally meet Mom at the party tomorrow." My blood turned to ice. I stood there for what felt like hours, but was probably 30 seconds. Then, with hands I couldn't feel anymore, I unlocked his phone. I knew his passcode. We'd always known each other's passcodes. Another sign of our beautiful, trusting, completely fake marriage. The messages went back years. 12 years, to be exact. Her name was Emily. She was 16 years old, and James had been sending money, gifts, texts, and occasional visits her entire life. Her mother was someone he'd had an affair with right before he met me. She'd gotten pregnant, had the baby, and James had chosen to support them financially while keeping them completely separate from his real life. From me. There were pictures, hundreds of them. Emily as a baby, as a toddler, first day of school photos, birthday parties, dance recitals. James at her 8th grade graduation. James teaching her to ride a bike, an entire parallel life I knew nothing about. The texts from recent weeks made me physically sick. James had finally told Emily about me. He'd decided, without asking me, without telling me, that it was time to bring our family together. He'd invited Emily and her mother to our anniversary party as a surprise. He actually thought I'd be happy, that I'd welcome this revelation with open arms and immediately embrace the daughter he'd hidden from me for over a decade. I didn't sleep that night. I sat in our home office, scrolling through years of lies, feeling my entire reality crumble. Every anniversary where he'd looked me in the eyes and toasted to our honesty. Every conversation about how we didn't need kids. Every time I'd cried about my infertility and he'd held me and said it didn't matter. He'd had a daughter the whole time. While I was grieving the children I couldn't have, he was raising one in secret. By sunrise, the grief had crystallized into something else. Something cold and sharp and clarifying. James wanted to surprise me? Fine. I'd give him a surprise right back. I spent that Saturday morning getting ready like nothing was wrong. I did my hair, put on the dress James had bought me, smiled when he kissed my cheek and told me how lucky he was. He kept checking his phone, getting more excited, more nervous. "Big day," he kept saying. "Really big day, Car." I just smiled and nodded. The party started at 6. By 6:30, our house was full of friends, family, colleagues, everyone drinking champagne, laughing, celebrating our 12 years of wedded bliss. I played the perfect hostess. I chatted, I poured drinks, I accepted congratulations on our beautiful marriage, and I watched James. He was jumpy, distracted, watching the door. At 7:15 they arrived, a woman in her early 40s, plain and nervous looking, and a teenage girl with James's eyes and my husband's smile. Emily. I watched James's face light up like I'd never seen before. He looked at that girl with pure, uncomplicated love, the kind of love I'd assumed we didn't have in our marriage because we were enough for each other. Turns out, I just wasn't enough. James spotted them and started making his way across the room. This was it. His big moment. The moment he'd been planning, where he'd bring his secret daughter into our life and I'd somehow magically be okay with 12 years of lies. I got there first. I walked right up to Emily, took both her hands in mine, and said loudly enough for nearby guests to hear, "You must be Emily, James's daughter. I'm so glad you could finally make it. Come, let me introduce you to everyone." The look on James's face was worth everything. Pure panic. He'd expected to control this narrative. He'd planned some touching speech, some careful framing. Instead, I was announcing it like it was old news, like I'd always known. "Everyone," I called out, tapping my champagne glass. The room quieted. James tried to reach me, but I stepped away. "I want to take a moment to introduce someone very special. This is Emily, James's 16-year-old daughter, from an affair he had before we met, that he's been hiding from me for our entire marriage. Emily, welcome. I just found out about you last night." The silence was deafening. You could hear the collective gasp, the sharp intake of breath from 70 people simultaneously. James's mother dropped her drink. My sister's mouth fell open. Emily looked like she wanted the floor to swallow her. And James? James looked like a man watching his entire life detonate. "Caroline," he started, voice shaking. "I can explain. I was going to tell you. I wanted it to be a surprise," I finished. "Oh, it was. 12 years of lying to my face was definitely surprising, James. Letting me cry about my infertility while you had a daughter was surprising. Using money from our joint accounts to support a secret second family was surprising. All of it, just so surprising." I turned to our guests. "I'm sorry you all came out for this, but I thought you should know the kind of man you've been celebrating. The kind of man who could look his wife in the eyes every single day and lie. Who could let her believe they were partners, that they shared everything, while hiding something this massive." I looked at Emily, and I softened my voice. This wasn't her fault. "Emily, you deserve better than this. You deserved a father who was proud of you, who didn't hide you like a secret. And I deserved a husband who was honest. We both deserve better than James." I set down my champagne glass, grabbed my purse and car keys, and walked out of my own anniversary party. I went to my sister's house, and I didn't look back. The fallout was spectacular. By the end of the weekend, everyone we knew had heard the story. James's reputation was destroyed. His consulting firm lost 3 major clients who didn't want to be associated with someone so morally compromised. His mother, a devout Catholic who'd always loved me, stopped speaking to him entirely. Our friend group fractured, but I got the better half. The divorce was quick. I had evidence of financial infidelity, proof he'd been using our shared assets to support another family without my knowledge. My lawyer had a field day. I got the house, half his business, and a settlement that set me up beautifully. James tried to apologize, tried to explain that he'd been young and scared when Emily was born, that he'd dug himself into a hole he didn't know how to get out of. I didn't care. 12 years. He'd had 12 years to tell me the truth. Here's what I learned. Betrayal isn't just about what someone does to you. It's about the life they steal from you by lying. James stole 12 years where I could have made an informed choice about my marriage. Where I could have decided if I wanted to be a stepmother, if I wanted to be with a man who'd had an affair and a child. He took away my agency, my ability to choose my own life, and that's unforgivable. I'm doing okay now, better than okay, actually. I'm dating someone new, someone who values honesty above comfort. Emily actually reached out to me a few months ago. We had coffee. She apologized for existing, which broke my heart. I told her none of it was her fault, that she deserved better from her father. We're not close, but we're cordial. I hope she finds peace with all of it. As for James, last I heard, he's living in a smaller place, his business barely scraping by, and he sees Emily every other weekend. Everything he tried to protect by lying fell apart anyway. Turns out, the truth doesn't destroy your life. Lies do. If you're watching this and something feels off in your relationship, trust that feeling. Don't ignore it like I did. Don't make excuses for someone who's keeping secrets. You deserve the truth, even when it hurts. Especially when it hurts. And if you enjoyed this story, please subscribe and hit that notification bell. Drop a comment telling me, would you have handled this differently? I read every single one, and I love hearing your thoughts. Thanks for listening to my story, and remember, you're stronger than you think.